So you keep hearing about AI agents. You probably clicked on a video or two, and within about 3 minutes, you're either completely lost or felt really overwhelmed by technical words or just all these complicated setups. And somewhere in the back of your head, you're worried that you're falling behind because you don't know how to set one up and even understand what they actually do. I'm not a technical person and know how you feel. So this is a video that I wish I had in the beginning when I started learning about AI agents. So you're in the right place. And you're not behind. I want you to know that AI agents is actually simpler than you think. Hi, I'm Laurie. I train and upskill non-technical professionals and entrepreneurs on AI every single week. Previously, I worked with companies such as Google, Meta, and Microsoft, where I developed enterprise training programs across the UK. And in this video, I'm going to give you the clearest, most practical explanation of what an AI agent actually is. And I'm going to show you what you can do, how to use AI agents safely as well. By the way, if you want to start using AI agents today, I made a free guide covering the best use cases for your daily work using AI agents. It's in the description below. So there are 3 levels of artificial intelligence actively being used right now. And most people currently only know of level 1, which is the large language models. ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini. You ask and it answers. It's brilliant at what it does, but most people think this is AI. It really is just the first step. Let's say I had a client call coming up. I want to walk in prepared, who they are, what their company is working on, what we talked about over email, anything relevant that I should know before I get on the call. And most people would just open ChatGPT and type, help me prepare for this meeting. And it couldn't do anything useful beyond the surface level. Not because it's not smart. ChatGPT is incredibly capable, but it has no idea who I was meeting. It couldn't see my calendar. It didn't know the person's name, their company, or what we discussed before. It could give me generic meeting prep tips, but nothing really specific to my actual situation in the meeting. And this is where most people are using AI on level 1, which is just an AI chatbot in a large language model like ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini that only just responds. Because you give it an input, a question, a prompt, or a piece of text, and it gives you an output based on everything it was trained on. That's it. So back to my meeting scenario, when I open ChatGPT and ask it to help me prep, that's the language model doing its job. It reads my prompt, it generates a response, and it does it incredibly well for anything that it already knows. But it couldn't tell me anything about the specific client I was about to meet. For that, I had to provide a lot of background myself, which really defeats the whole point. So that limitation is exactly what leads to the second type of assistant. And this next level is AI workflows and automation. So this is where AI gets connected to your tools. You can access your calendar, pull from a spreadsheet, send an email, or run on schedule. And this is where a lot of people think they build an agent. They haven't, but they're getting closer. And you set up the steps in advance, and then it follows them automatically, even when you're not there. This is much more powerful, but still limited because it could only do exactly what you told it to do. If something unexpected comes up that you didn't plan for, it's then stuck. So go back to my meeting prep. With a workflow, I can set up a system that runs every morning and pulls my calendar events for the day. And for each meeting, it finds the person's LinkedIn profile and sends me a summary. That's much better than before, much better than doing it manually every single time. But here's where a workflow hits its limit. You can only follow the path that you set up in advance. If I told the workflow to pull LinkedIn profiles, that's all it does. But if I also ask, what is the current company news? It will fail to do that because it doesn't follow the predefined workflow. It doesn't adjust based on context. It follows this fixed steps every single time in the same order, no matter what. So if something unexpected comes up that isn't covered, they're stuck. And the manual didn't plan for that. The workflows are incredibly useful. I use them all the time, but they have this ceiling. And that ceiling is where the AI agents can help you with. Before I tell you what kind of agents you can build, I want to tell you about my search for the best options of deploying agents live in the most cost-effective and safest way. So let me tell you about Hostinger, who is kindly sponsoring this video. When I first started building these agents, I needed a server that I could deploy to, configure myself, and leave it running around the clock without paying a huge amount for it. And most options I found are either too cumbersome for a very non-tech person like myself, or just having to buy a separate Mac Mini, which is not cost-effective in my opinion. And I'm so glad that I found Hostinger, who offers a KVM to VPS plan. Really, this is where my entire agent system lives. It's fast, it's stable, and it's a lot more straightforward to set up than expected. And also the other benefit is for those of you who are like me, who value extra security when it comes to running AI agents. My agents are operating in a contained environment without access to everything stored in my computer. And you can see here that there are so many options you can use applications-wise to launch your AI agents. They're the most popular ones like Hermes, OpenClaw, Paperclip, and NAN. But if you scroll down further, you will see even more potential options that you can use here as well. And if you want to try it out for yourself, the link's in the description below. And I also got an exclusive discount for my viewers. So use the code Laurie at checkout to get your discount on your hosting or VPS plans. The third level is the AI agents, and this is where everything changes. An AI agent can do everything in the workflow can do. Connect to your tools, access your calendar, pull information from the web. But it adds one thing that changes everything. It can also reason. This is where AI stops following instructions and starts to make decisions. So an agent looks at your goal, it figures out what's needed, and gets you to the result, even when things don't go according to plan. It doesn't just follow a path you set up. You give it a go, it looks like the situation, and it decides what's needed and figure out the best way to get there. So instead of you having to manually involve in the workflow, the AI can now take over as a decision maker. And this is the level that most people haven't reached yet. But this is where the biggest opportunities in how we work is actually happening. So here's what that looks like for my meeting prep. Once I had an agent set up, I told the agent that I had a meeting and wanted a meeting prep created with all the information that I need and some talking points. So the agent checked my calendar and saw who I was meeting. It then goes and looked them up on LinkedIn. It checks their company website for anything recent in terms of updates and backgrounds. And it found the last email thread that I had in my inbox and pulled out the key context from there. It also noticed that they recently posted something about a challenge they were working through, relevant to exactly what we're going to discuss. Then the agent puts all that together into a 2-minute brief, gives me 3 talking points and 3 questions, and sends it to my email. I didn't initiate any of this. I didn't set a rule that covered every single one of these steps. I just gave the agent a goal, prepare me for my meetings, and it figured out how to do it. So that's the key difference here. The language model waits me to ask and answer for what it knows. The workflow executes the process that I designed in advance, following it step by step. But the agent, it looks at my actual situation, my goals, and figures out how to get the end result. So you're probably wondering, this all sounds great, but how can you now use AI agents in your everyday work and life? The key is to start with the daily work you already do. The best AI agents are the ones that save time on boring, repetitive tasks, like reading emails, preparing for meetings, or turning meeting notes into action points. So start there, and once you're more comfortable, you can then start creating more sophisticated AI agents that can remove you from the process. So here are a few great examples. One could be a daily priority planner that reads your calendar and task, then tell you your top 3 priorities every single morning. Or it could be an inbox agent that sorts emails and then even drafts simple replies, so all you have to do is review and click send. Or it could be a research summary agent that scans and reads long articles and reports in your industry daily and turns them into short, useful takeaways. It could be a content agent that suggests ideas based on your recent work, audience, and trends to build your personal brand. So the point here is this, is that AI agents are most useful when they do small jobs very well, and you can build it from there. Now, before you go off and start building, I want to talk about something that many videos on this don't talk about. And I promise this at the start of the video, which is how to use AI agents safely. Because agents are powerful, and that's exactly why you need to be thoughtful about how you use them. The rule I follow is very simple. Agents are great at taking busy work off your desk, but my best recommendation is to start building small and building guardrails for AI agents early. So let your agents research, prepare, and pull information together. But before it sends that email, post that content, or move money or buy anything for you, you need to review it first. That final decision stays with you. And there are 3 things I tell everyone when they start using agents. First is never give an agent access to anything it doesn't need. So if it's a meeting prep agent, it needs your calendar and your email. It doesn't need to access your files, your contacts, or your payment tools. So you want to keep permissions really tight. And second is always start with low-stake tasks. So summarizing or research is a great first agent task. Automatically replying to clients is not. So build your confidence before you hand over anything important. And lastly, check the output before you trust it, because agents can get things wrong. A quick review before anything goes out, it will protect you. The goal here isn't to hand everything over to an agent and walk away. The goal is to stay in control while removing the boring, repetitive work from your plate. So I've been building agents in Claude Code to help me in my work and life. And you'd like to see me sharing a video about this, let me know in the comments below. And also share with me what agents are you looking to build. And I can also make a video on the useful use case for you in the future. If you found this video helpful, the next step is learning how to become AI native. even if you have zero technical background. I made a video walking through exactly how to do that, so watch it here. I'm Laurie, and I'll see you in the next video.